What's good, everybody? Davidson, Crooks here. We're having fast break here for High Sports Radio. You're the week forward sports. Welcome to you to the show tonight. Heavy show here tonight. Game 7 of the NBA Finals going on as we speak right now with the Pacers up 2-0. D-Locke, we got a lot to discuss too as well. But Kevin Durant's on the move once again. What you think about that?
Man, listen, we just talked about Orlando Magic going to get Desmond Bain, making that big plus to make them a better team. We knew when he talked about Kevin Durant being one of the big people that was going to get moved. Now it's done, so it's definitely got to be talked about, man. Listen, guys, it plays out, man. Also, I'm going to say right now, early, I got the Pacers winning by 5 tonight. We'd be bold to say that right now.
I got the Pacers as well. I don't know how much they're going to win by, but right now they're up by 3 in the second quarter. So on tonight's show, when we talking live Game 7, Kevin Durant going to the Rockets, the Los Angeles Lakers sale, the NBA draft is this week, and wherever else news decides to pop up during the finals, which I hope nothing happens. But this is Fast Break here, live for High Sports Radio. You're the week forward sports. And we'll catch you on the other side here just momentarily. And welcome to the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us here. Let's see. Hold on, check out something. So, welcome to the show here tonight, live here on High Sports Radio. You're the week forward sports. If I'm looking away, I am eyes glued to Game 7 right now. And we're in the first quarter. 5-2 OKC. Indiana Pacers lead with Shai Gilgeous taking the jump shot, closing the gap to 1 point right there. So we're gonna be breaking in and out of this game throughout the night here, and just give our thoughts on it and see how it goes, play by play. D-Lock, I know you were telling me before the game that the Pacers are gonna win the game by 5 points. How you foresee that happening tonight?
Well, I think my biggest thing is I think this game is going to be tight until the end. I think it comes down to free throws at the end, closing the game out. I think SG is going to have a hell of a game. Tyrese Halliburton is going to have a hell of a game overall, not points. A lot of fans that watch ball, they want to hear a hell of a game means a lot of points. No, just as a player. I think that this Pacers team is just not going to give up. Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach. I think Siakam has a hell of a game as well. Chet Holmgren is going to have to play pretty good, but I think Isaiah Hartenstein is also going to have to play a big part. I just think that the Pacers are going to be, a tough team. And I think they play it close. And we've seen them do this multiple times, and I see them doing it again. You know what I mean? So for me, I battled back and forth. You asked me earlier who I had winning. At first, I had OKC winning, but I see the Pacers battling, and with them wanting to win is bad. With them having Siakam, who's won a championship before, Halliburton, who can go out there and have a hell of a game as a player overall, McConnell coming off a high game. And I think this team can stick with the OKC Thunder as much as we talk about how much deep they are, how much depth they have. So I think you're going to see a hell of a game from Nebhard. Nate Smith is going to pop a few threes. But it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to one possession. One missed shot is going to determine it all to where it comes to a foul, and now we're talking about a 5-point game. I got the Pacers winning by 5.
For me, for the Pacers to win, like I said, I don't know how much they'll, I don't know how much they would win by. I mean, stupid pop-ups, but you got to win by 5. Very good answer there. For me, I think for a couple things, Miles Turner has to show up. I know last game he did okay and whatever, but I think you don't want to give those big guys. I've been saying this all series. You want to give those big guys Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren momentum. And for the past couple of games, Chet Holmgren, and I said this in Game 6 when I was live tweeting on our show's page, right here at Fast Break IASR. I was saying, hey, Chet Holmgren playing like a punk. I hate to say it like that, but missing layups, not playing tough inside offensively. Defensively, he's fine, but offensively, man, like, damn, you got to give me more. Got to give me more. And then in a crucial Game 7 like this, can you give me enough while Jalen Williams and SGA kind of take the lead? Can you give me something consistent over the 4 quarters that when push comes to shove, I can depend on you? Can you give me something? Everybody, he got it in him, but I just think like, against bigger dudes in a sense, he kind of, gets pushed around too easily. I don't know if you've seen this. You've seen the videos of Wemby over in the I want to say Tibet, if I'm not mistaken. So he's over there working out, doing what he's doing, but he seemed like some more muscle building that happened with him. Chet got to go to the same program, and Miles Turner being the veteran, I think he got to take advantage of that. Our highest Isaiah Hartenstein, get him in foul trouble, you got to take advantage of that. After that, you make OKC go smaller, try and dominate inside. I know they're trying to look for the perfect shot all the time, all that stuff with Neesmith, Halliburton, Shepard, Matthew, all those guys open. But kind of play inside a little bit. Go inside and kind of take advantage of that. So if I think, for me, for Indiana to win this game, got to have it even balance inside, outside. Go Turner and Siakam down low. If that don't happen, and Halliburton's calf injury kind of comes back and bites in the backside, because that's another thing to monitor. If it comes out and hurts him in the backside, then the Pacers might be in trouble.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but just looking at, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking at my phone because I'm trying to see the results as the game goes. I mean, Halliburton's already popped three threes already.
Mm-hmm.
So he's popped 3 threes. Siakam has popped a 3. So I say that to say this is not going to be a blowout. A lot of people, I think Stephen A was saying after Game 6, and I don't know if he was doing it for a show or ESPN or First Take or whatever. He said this is not going to be just an easy pull for OKC. We see what's going on, and I think this is going to be a hell of a game. I don't think the Pacers are just. We look at the comparison. A lot of people have OKC up here, and they have the Pacers all the way down here. And I just you text me when I had sent you, I think, a shot that Halliburton made early in the series. You said clutch play of the year. He's been playing like that all year long.
Oh yeah.
So now you got that guy. A clutch player of the year not only does his job, but he helps his players around him believe, and that's the biggest thing you want. It's a mentality thing. So now that you got him doing what he does, helping everybody else, at this point, what do we see the Pacers do? I'm not just trying to hop on that wagon and say they're going to win the championship for sure, but I don't want to just give it to OKC so fast. I know they got the Game 7 at home. They got the MVP. Chet Holmgren, we've seen Gonzaga, a hell of a player. Going to grab Chet Holmgren, they're a hell of a team. I just don't see it being that easy as everybody else. You know what I mean? I don't see it being. I think they had the Thunder winning by 7. I don't see that. I think the Pacers are going to fight. And I think, in fact, if the Pacers play how I think they can play, they are playing, they're going to grab this W, man. And if they do that, now we might be talking about one of the better teams that won the championship, in history, if they get that job done.
Yeah. All right. Going back live right now. The Pacers up by 1. Halbert is driving the lane and he's kicking it out, swinging the ball. Miles Turner pump fake. He's driving. There's a lot of driving and kicking right now, and Benedict Matthews take a bad 3-point shot, and that's what Richard Jefferson brought this point up. Was it Game 6 or Game 5 about the Pacers? They trying to look too much for the perfect shot, like that possession by them. Trying to look for the perfect shot. You had a couple guys had good looks. Miles Turner had a good look. I mean, you had to look for the 3 all the time. Just pump fake, driving inside, see you can get it in one and whatnot. It just kind of drive me nuts. Right, like Jefferson brought up the other day or last couple games. Not everything's got to be a great shot. Take the good shot. All right? You don't have to be butt wet, naked, wide open. Just take the good shot right there. Routine like Shepard, Mathurin, Turner. You can Turner, take the pump fake, dribble inside, take a shot, something. But not everything got to be drive a kick, 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 drive a kick. And now we got jump ball at center court with Neiman and Williams. But too much driving and kicking, driving and kicking, driving and kick. Just take a good shot, all right? But for you, I know you got the Pacers win the game, but on the other side of things, for OKC to win the championship, what needs to happen?
So for OKC to win championship, this is a 1-game series. To be honest with you, I think SGA needs to have an MVP type game.
Yeah.
35 plus, maybe 7, 8 assists, maybe 6 or 7 rebounds. He got another assist. Alex Caruso popped 2 threes. I feel like he's gonna get his points. It's not that. We're not worried about that. But it's about what people do around him. What does he do outside of score? Does he get 8 for rebounds? Or 8 to 10 rebounds? Can he go 7, 8 assists at this point right now? He is at 2 assists already. He's on the board to get 8 assists. Can he have that game? And not only that, can he be turnover free?
Yes.
I think TJ McConnell, for those that do go into placing bets, they've had McConnell at 0.5 steals a game for the past 4 or 5 games. That's damn near guaranteed, more than likely, because he's had probably the average about 2 steals per game. The Thunder are turning the ball over almost every, probably they're turning the ball over more in this series than they did all season long. So that doesn't mean that they're playing bad, but it also means that Pacers are playing great defense too. So for me, I think for them to win, they just got to use the court advantage that they have, and be turnover free. Don't turn the ball over so much. Whether it's 24-second clock, bad pass, anything like that. Find a way to not turn the ball over as much. I think this team has a hell of a chance to get the win. I think Halliburton is not a guy that's going to give you 25 a game. He's going to get you maybe 14, 15, maybe 16, 17, but he's going to assist. He's going to get other people involved. He's going to get rebounds. So I think for me, OKC, they have to lean on SGA. And I think if he can have a hell of a game, and also I think what helps this team is if they dig deep in their bench. Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein are great players, but moving to put Jalen Williams in there, give him some minutes. because it's going to be needed. This Patriots team is not that deep when it comes to big men. So get your guys up in there. We're talking about relying on Jaden Williams to win a championship to get some minutes, but throw them in there because you get that rest from Hartenstein, you get that rest from Chet, so you can get them at them important possessions. So, we know what OKC is. Lean on SGA. They got the depth for it. It's just how much do they lean on SGA to have a hell of a game? Can you put other guys in to make those plays? Lou Dort didn't have a game. I don't think he scored the last game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had 0. So as much as he's playing defense, I think that he needs to put some points up, and that's going to tell it all. So OKC, as we know, is the favorite. They got the home court advantage. Let SGA let it roll, but also go deep into your bench as well.
I think, yeah. I forgot who said it, but like sometimes game 7s or you don't know who expects to show up. And, for the Thunder, we saw in the last series between the Pacers and Knicks, Thomas Bryant came in and had the game of his career in that game 6. Like that 12 points he had, really, I think New York didn't expect that coming out of the bench for them. For the Thunder, like kind of with the things going now, you probably need something. Like you mentioned, Lou Dort, maybe he comes alive, have a good scoring game. Like I mentioned about Chet Holmgren, he gotta have a strong game offensively. Defensively, he's been pretty straight. It's offensively, he saw here, but then just go crashing down. Isaiah Hartenstein, same thing. I'm not asking for 30 points. Just finish strong, finish tough around the basket, make high percentage shots. That's it. But you brought a good name like Jalen Williams. Throw him out there, see what he can do. If he catch a little fire, whatnot, something that Indiana's not really expecting, I think that can go a long way. That can go a long way. You never know. And then if he's not doing what you want in a couple 3 minutes or so, pull him out. But you're not asking for the world. Give me some strong minutes. Give me some strong play. Play tough around the basket. All that good stuff. But for me, the OKC to win this game, like you mentioned about SGA, he's got be the MVP. Jalen Williams be the MVP, and Tyrese Halliburton, I guess, went down. So we'll keep a monitor on that right now. But
well, that's not good.
Well, let me ask you this. TJ McConnell was it game 5? Had a hell of a game. If we're gonna be real. Yeah, Halliburton, he's been carried. So he may come back, may not.
Oh wow!
He got the towel over his head, walking to the locker room.
Well,
man, oh man. But let me ask you this: going back to Game 5 real quick, when Halliburton was hurt with the calf and all that stuff, and TJ McConnell was playing it lights out. In a sense, Carlisle should have maybe rolled a hot hand with Halliburton's injury and rolled McConnell the rest of the way in the game. Could we be singing a different tune in this series per se? If they come back and won a game, not saying they would or not, but when McConnell was in, they kind of closed the gap there, and who knows what happened in the fourth quarter. But he didn't put McConnell back in the fourth quarter till like 4 minutes left in the game. What's your thoughts on that? And then Tyrese Halliburton's injury during Game 7.
I mean, I think what you said is correct. I mean, no TJ McConnell played how he played. I mean, he was having a hell of a game both offense and defense. It kind of reminds me back when the Lakers and the Celtics were playing when Kareem got hurt. You know, just I've been watching the Boston Celtics and just looking at some of the Celtics and Lakers rivalry. And I know I watched the winning time. And Kareem got hurt and they had to lean on Magic. Now, TJ McConnell is far from goddamn Magic. Let's not say that. But it's the fact that the game was won, right? I mean, you're up by 30. Your team is moving how they're moving. You could have easily just left it how it was. But to get them in the rhythm, which it seems like what they were trying to do, played a huge part. And for me, I think getting him back in the game when it was already kind of wrapped up, you could have kind of eased back from that. Like you said, running with the hot hand, letting the hot hand kind of get situated, and then you come back and say, okay, cool, we're gonna rest you and come back. But that's a coach's decision. I mean, obviously it was a 3-2 series. As important as it was to get the Pacers to get that win, that was something that they needed. They felt like they needed. So for me, like I said, it was a rough decision that they had to be made by the coach. But you could have rolled McConnell out because he was playing extremely well on both sides. And he's going to do that. So I think at the same time, you know, it's better to just let it play out how it plays out and have him as 100% as he can for this game. But clearly, because of that, we're seeing what we see now, him being injured. And I'm pretty sure it's going to impact this game. Now, again, you're going to have to lean on Ben Shepherd. You're going to have to McConnell, Bennett Mather. These guys are going to have to step up depending on how bad this injury is and if he comes back. Now, I don't see Halliburton not coming back for sure. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to fight his way back. But now you're going to have to see some other guys step up, and Siakam's going to have to lead the charge.
Man. Right now, the Thunder up 2 with 1:35 left in the first quarter. If you're just now joining us, Tyrese Halliburton has gone to the locker room with apparent leg injury. We knew coming in he had the calf injury that he suffered from Game 5. And now he is gone to the locker room, which is not a good scene. And they, of course, you know, you factor into Game 7 and all the ramifications and that, the pressure on that stuff. Now, I think you probably had to lean more on Siakam in the sense of scoring wise. I know you ain't gonna depend on teaching McCollum drop 35 and stuff like that. I mean, it could have happened, but Siakam got to do more of the heavy loading and scoring. Neesmith, as fine as defensive player he is, I think he can't be too aggressive and he got to play smart. As we see T.J. McConnell take a shot and brick. Now you got Case and Wallace driving the lane. Robinson with the 3, he misses it and out of bounds and be Indiana Pacers ball with a minute left in the fourth quarter. Excuse me, Williams with the soul patch on the back of his head. So man, it's like everybody at OKC got like a different style or something. But Matthew with the screen, driving the lane, shot goes up, gets his own offensive rebound, go up, and tied it back up for 22 all with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. I think that's somebody right there that's got to step up. Mathurin.
Oh, yes, for sure. No.
Because he has shown not like franchise level type of scoring, but you know, very high level competent scoring to kind of stick in the NBA for a good while. And OKC gets a steal, 5 seconds left, Chet Holmgren got the ball, and they called a blocking foul on McConnell. So Chet Holmgren's going to the line, which I thought maybe TJ got there. But good defense by Wallace on McConnell there. Yeah, that could have went either way. But Chet Holmgren to the line right now, and he misses it. OKC still up by 2. Like Tony Bradley's about to come in for the Pacers.
Oh my gosh.
He played good game 6. He played good.
Well, he going down for a rebound. His ass don't need to get back in the game.
And Chet Holmgren with shot number 2 for a free throw, made stats, splits 1-1. So OKC up by 3. Damn, they could call foul on that one. But Siakam trying to make the 3-point shot, misses it. So at the end of the first quarter, the Thunder are up 25-22, and it's showing the Tyrese Halliburton injury again. No contact. We'll see. In your eyes, Wade went down. Look, he went down. Do you think he comes back?
Do I think Halliburton comes back?
Yeah.
Man, I got to see it again. But you know what? Let me see. Oh, my gosh. Oof. Nah, he's done.
You think so?
Yeah, he's done, man. Yeah, he's done. Yep. Oh, yeah, he's done, man. I think, damn. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, yeah, he's yeah. T.J. McConnell is gonna have a game of his life. Now, this is I was gonna ask, what happens if the Pacers win this game without Tyrese Halliburton? Which I think is very possible, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to have a hell of a game. I really didn't.
I mean, I don't think nothing's gonna hurt because he got them to that point. I think the way he played and stuff like that throughout this playoffs, he got them to this point. You know what I'm saying? So I think really nothing can be taken away, from him, to be honest with you. It just now in clutch situations, who you gonna go to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's my point right there. Is like that's the thing that's gonna hurt them. That's the thing. You're looking at it. It's like, damn, who's my clutch guy? Because when they clutch situations, ladies and gentlemen, Halliburton came up and showed out.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing. He came up and showed out.
We were just talking about that. You're right.
We talked about on this show, ladies and gentlemen, against the Knicks, against the Cavaliers, the Bucks, and he did it game 1. He did it freaking game 1 in OKC against the Thunder. We don't got, like, in basketball, NBA, we don't got too many guys that kind of take the bull by the horns like we used to back in the day. I mean, you got some guys in the league like Anthony Edwards, Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, LeBron, Luka, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Jokic. That's about the real handful of guys you can really go to. Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. back in there, you can go a little bit deeper. But for me to answer your question, it's gonna suck. But we'll see how things go. And I got the game on mute, so I really can't say what the status is or what they've been reporting. And it seems like Siakam's taking more of a charge right now of leadership and whatnot. So him and Miles Turner, they gotta be communicating, telling these guys, hey, just weather the storm. We see how things go.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you with that. I think, oh my God, this man, Tony Bradley. I think, right now it's tied. I think having Siakam having that championship pedigree, I think he's going to bring that, for them to be able to stand and be content with his team. But now, to look at the other side, this is where SGA has to take over. This is where SGA has to make it known that he's the MVP. So we're going to see what happens. But it sucks to see any player go down. We talked about it when Jason Tatum went down.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a very tough thing to see because of the impact that player can make and the leadership that they bring. So for me, I'm not going to change my pick. I feel like I'm not expecting if Tyrese was averaging like 30 a game, then okay, I can kind of say, then I'm kind of worried. But this team is so built out, and because of the coach that they have, that's the leader.
Yeah.
That's the leader that's going to get them to keep them riding that ship. So I think that this team is far from done. It hurts to see Halliburton go out, but I don't think they missed too much of a beat. That's not no credit to Tyrese Halliburton. I just think that this team is a very good team, and I think that they have a good chance to stick with OKC. But in order to put this game away, if possible, SG has to show that he's the MVP and show why.
I think, and Caruso was a great cut and great pass by Isaiah Hartenstein to go to make the 2-point shot there with the Thunder up by 27-26. And Tony Bradley got the ball down low and he draws the foul. So draws the foul on Jalen Williams. He's going to the line. So this is kind of like what we talked about. Like, hey, game 7, we need guys step up. We put you in, contribute. So we'll see what Tony Bradley does at the line. And up for the shot, and he makes his first free throw. So game 27 all right now for the Pacers. And if you tuned in with this tonight, ladies and gentlemen, your first time watching us, I'm Davidson Crooks. On the other side, that's Dentarius Locke. We do Fast Break here for iSports Radio. You're the week for all sports. And at times, we have done live reactions to games like this in the past. And being with the NBA Finals, I think it's the first time we've done a game 7 like this in this scenario.
It actually
broadcast for all these years.
Yeah, we have not done. This is our first game 7 to experience the NBA Finals, and it's an interesting one. Even though it's not the big team that many people talk about, but this is the NBA Finals, so a trophy is going to be handed out tonight. Question is, who's going to get it?
Yeah, and like you brought up, like SGA, Jalen Williams, Casey Wallace, Alex Cruz, they got to be attack mode with Tyrese Halliburton to the bench. And good defense by Tony Bradley. But Alex Cruz got the shot, airballed it, and Tony Bradley got the foul. So I just pray Tony Bradley having good defense, but he gets the foul called on him. So sucks for him there. But the Pacers up by 1, 28-27. 10:02 left in the second quarter. Nobody's sitting down in OKC as we speak. Standing room only. Jalen Williams the ball at the free throw line. Good bounce pass to Isaiah Hartenstein for the layup. OKC back up by 1, but McConnell bringing the ball up. And Siakam passed the ball off to Mathurin with Alex Caruso guarding him. Siakam back on the ball, driving the back up top of the key. And once again, Caruso defense on McConnell. Now, excuse me, not McConnell. I don't got my glasses on, so excuse me. And TJ McConnell got the steals. Let me say this. I got to have Miles Turner out there. I know Tom Brady probably give you good minutes, but I got to have Miles Turner in this Game 7 scenario.
Oh, yes. That's my thing. Why in the hell he ain't out there? You got Tony Bradley out there like he Patrick Ewing or somebody grabbing rebound.
And then he got Tony Bradley on Jalen Williams right now, and ISO on the island. Williams driving, and they called a foul on that.
Bradley?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was like 3 paces crashing right there.
Well, it makes sense. You're going to attack the guy that probably in foul trouble already.
And they showing that Halbert injury once again because the horn is being milk stained to the freaking bone.
Call that foul on Ben Shepherd.
Oh, they did. So Bradley got lucky. Williams at the line. There's the first free throw. And ladies and gentlemen, also, like I said, you're new to the show. I coach basketball, and one thing I stress to my kids is free throws. And if this game is kind of tight at the end, I'm going to look at those free throw numbers, and we'll see how things shape up.
2-point game right now. Supposed to be 3-point game. Well, 4-point game, shall I? Yeah, no, 3-point game.
So Jalen Williams splits the free throws. The Thunder up by 2. McConnell's and Bradley to the bench. Miles Turner back in. And that's what I was talking about. You know, you got Miles Turner, who's 6'11", and got Jalen Williams at 6'6", and Miles Turner sitting along the damn perimeter. Go down and post up. They got no big men now. Go up. And then they get the foul. Basic basketball.
Yeah.
Get to the big guy.
Especially with it being Game 7, you would think they would put all chips in one all eggs in one basket with that.
I don't think they got a legit big man out there. Really?
Nah, they really don't. Let me see. I don't think nobody out there.
Nah, because Holmgren and
Williams, but they ain't got nobody. He made the next one. He made the next one.
So
they mess around, let the Pacers win this without Hallenberg, man. They let them stick around like this. But see, this is what I mean by SGA has to stick. SGA has to take over, and he will. I think over time he's gonna take over. It's just letting this type of team stick around with their coach is bad business.
I think right now you're the Pacers. You know, really don't have a. I mean, you got Neesmith out there, but Neesmith, Nembhard out there, but you don't have a true point at the moment. So you gotta play smart basketball. I don't think that's a foul. Never mind. He grabbed his arm. Never mind. Yeah, Shepard grabbed his arm. So that is a foul on Shepard there. And you gotta play smart. You know, guys like Shepard, Neesmith, Nembhard, you know, those guys, you know, gotta play smart. Gotta play tough on SGA. And with 8:19 left in the second quarter, the OKC Thunder are up by 3. And they got the steal off the inbound. The Thunder did. And I think this is the kind of thing could be like a momentum changer. SGA for the 3. He misses it. Rebound Neesmith. And then you got Obi Toppin bringing the ball up for some odd reason. Let's see. And Toppin for the 3. Turner on the rebound. Should be taking advantage of that.
Look at your boy.
And Neesmith at the 3-pointer. So we tie back up, 7:40 left in the second quarter. And to the breaking news that Tyrese Halliburton will not return in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So I guess it's official.
Wow.
So your thoughts on it, I guess, since he's not coming back?
I think Tyrese Halliburton, he is that leader on this team. I just he makes an impact on his team. I don't think that this team is just out of it. I don't see this as a blowout. Halliburton plays a huge part, but they have a guard in TJ McConnell who can step in, and play pretty well when the top dog is there. Now, if this was like if this was during the series and Halliburton's going to be gone for about 3 games, that's a different thing. But this is a 1-game series. And right now, it's about who plays good right now. I think the game that McConnell had, the last game, it leads onto this. He can use. They got that confidence, and okay, well, cool. Halliburton didn't have a hell of a game, but McConnell was on fire. Can he back that up this game? If he could do that this game, I think this team might be pretty good. So I'm not gonna say that OKC has it wrapped up just yet.
No.
I think this game is still gonna be pretty tight. You still got Siakam, who's won a championship before. You still got, like I said, some vets in McConnell and Miles Turner. Naismith still could play hell of a defense. You're going to need guys like Benedict Mathurin to come in and get his shots up. I think that's going to play a huge part for me. So I think that this series is not over. It hurts for it to be Halliburton. Hopefully it's not an Achilles tear. But, again, until SGA kind of takes over, which looks like it probably was headed that way. That's why they call that timeout. This series is far from this game is far from over.
Right now, just kind of look at the box score right now. Mathurin has 5 points. Until Halliburton went out the injury, he was kind of on a roll, 9 points. Then next after that, Siakam was 8 points right now, and Miles Turner only has 1 point. I think that's got to be a little bit stronger. I mean, got to be a little better if they're going to win this game. Because right now they're playing small, OKC is. And then you look at the other side of things, OKC, Chet Holmgren, 8 points for him. That's got to be consistent through. He cannot come in the second half and not do nothing scoring-wise. Isaiah Hartenstein, 2 points. Jalen Williams with 5 points, but 2 fouls so far. And SGA right now, 12 points for him. Caruso, I think that's one thing Indiana's got to tighten up right there. Don't let Caruso, get going, whatnot, offensively and defensively as well. So far, he has 8 points as well, but he's got 1 foul as well. So get him in foul trouble and kind of take him out the game if you're the Pacers Rick Carlisle. Going to the chat real quick while commercial break. Trey Rodriguez say, I had the Thunder winning prior to 5 p.m. Pacific. And he also says, hey, the show's making history, live reaction during the Game 7. Yeah. First time. Game 7, NBA Finals. Everybody kind of wishing like New York and damn Minnesota. But hey, 2 best teams are here. They're here for a reason. And then Brian came in and says, as a Celtics fan, I feel for the Pacers seeing Halliburton going down with the Achilles. Well, we don't know if it's Achilles or not. So, he did come in the calf injury. So we'll see. But, like you alluded to, the Tatum injury, comes down, come down like the, Tatum injury, and how that changed for the Celtics. And then Wallace coming back out the break, makes a 3-pointer and put OKC up by 5 right now. So the crowd sees more animated right now in OKC. The defense up top is suffocating right now. And there we go. And now they're getting the ball more inside. Tomorrow's starting drawing fouls and whatnot. Slowing the game down a little bit. But D-Lock was kind of will come out in and out right now. But I do want to talk about this while this going on. It's like so much going on right now. But I do want to talk about this. As we saw earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, and Miles Turner's missed the free throw again. Kevin Durant is a Houston Rocket. Out of the places he wanted to go was between San Antonio, Houston, Miami. And I feel like there's another team in there that I'm missing. But those are the teams that he wanted to go. Houston, after days of negotiations, came out the winner. He goes to the Rockets. Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th pick of this NBA draft that's happening Wednesday and Thursday, to the Suns. D-Lock, real quick, your thoughts of Kevin Durant going to the Houston Rockets?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is this guy's starting to move around a lot. He's moving around like a hot potato right now. We know when we seen Kevin Durant at OKC, with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, going to Golden State, had his pieces. But now, KD's always going to be one of the greatest shooters ever. But now it just seems like we're seeing him go from team to team to team. He's starting to kind of do what we seen Shaq do later on after leaving Miami. I think that right now you're looking at him being that player that's going to play a huge part in any team he goes to. But I think my biggest thing is how long does this last? How long does he stay in Houston? Because we thought the same thing when he got to Boston. I'm sorry, not Boston. We thought the same thing when he got to Brooklyn. Same thing when he got to Phoenix. How long does this guy stay, in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first question that I have. Now, we know what he possesses of. We know what he can do. Now, we talked about this last week. I didn't think they would give up Jalen Green. I said Van Fleet because I know what Jalen Green can do. Him being the younger guy, Houston can build around him. But obviously, Phoenix needs a younger piece there. You put a piece with Devin Booker. Now, granted, we don't know exactly what they're going to do with Jalen Green. Maybe they move him again, looking for a big man or something like that. But to be honest with you, I think this was a good trade for Houston. But I think it's a good trade right now. I don't think this is a trade that we look at 5 years from now and KD's still there. I think KD, Sengun, Van Fleet, Tari Eason, these guys are Jabari Smith. This is a good piece. I think now you can put KD back at the 3 and see what you can do with them. So for me, I don't think it was a bad move. It's just how long does this work?
Yeah.
This is going to be a 2-year plan. This is going to be a 3 years. This is going to be a 1-year plan. How long does this work? We kind of seen him and Udoka kind of getting together after the game that Boston and Brooklyn had, years back when they were talking. So, and obviously him being on that team, Olympic team, I think of that championship team years back. So for me, it's about how long does this last. So again, I think the Rockets made a big move. Obviously, Dillon Brooks is going to go over there. I think Phoenix keeps Dillon Brooks. I think they do move Jalen Green, but what does this do moving forward for the Houston Rockets? Now you got a lot of vets on this team. So now it's a win now, not a build upon your young pieces in Sengun and Jabari Smith. Now you're probably going to have to start, obviously teaching them. But with the vets like Van Fleet, the vets like KD, this is a win now. And maybe they capitalize on that right now.
Real quick, when we got a timeout right now in the action in the NBA Finals. Real quick for me for this trade, I look at it. Look for the Suns' point of view. I don't know about you, but I know they want to trade Bradley Beal, but I don't think they can. And I think what sucks, I think, you rather keep Jalen Green than Bradley Beal because the age difference and whatnot. But it seems like maybe you probably had to package something to get rid of Bradley Beal to fill out that roster. We'll see what happens, transpires. The draft is, like I said, the first round is this Wednesday, and then you got the second round Thursday. So a lot can happen. Right now, Phoenix is saying that they're not going to move Jalen Green and whatnot. I know they're trying to turn their focus to trade Bradley Beal. Like I said, like we just mentioned, that's going to be hard to do. So for Phoenix, it's like you got a bunch of guards right now in the fold. A lot of guards. Beal, shooting guards, really. Shooting Beal, Jalen Green, Booker, Grayson Allen. And a lot of people trying to throw him Dylan Brooks as a shooting guard. He's more of a 3 in my eyes. So for me, okay, Dylan Brooks, cool. You got somebody kind of come in, set the tone defensively at 3 spot. Cool. You got to keep it in the fold. Now, what else do you do with this roster? Don't have a big man. Really don't got like a 4 like that. You're trading him away and Kevin Durant. And you really don't have a point guard. So this team has been like a hot mess for the past couple years. With the ownership change, the rotation of coaches, now you got new coach in the fold. I don't know where Phoenix is at right now. So I'm curious to see what they do. I think Wednesday is going to be a telltale sign what they're going to do. That 10th pick of the draft is going to tell a lot of things, depending on how things go. Do they keep it? Or do they stay pat? Draft somebody. There'll be some good guards falling down to them. Point guards wise, they can pick up, or big men they can pick up at that pick. Or do you flip that for a more proven veteran? We've been hearing names of Drew Holiday in trade talks and whatnot. The Celtics are looking to move him. So for Phoenix, man, it's just kind of like a hot mess right now. And you're wasting prime Devin Booker years with this hot mess. And then for Houston, they won this trade solely because they did not get rid of Amen Thompson. They didn't get rid of Tari Eason. They did not get rid of Cam Whitmore.
Mm-hmm.
They did not get rid of Reed Shepard and Robbie Smith. That's 5 players I just named right there. 5 young guys under 25 that I just named right there. They did not get, the Phoenix Suns did not get not none of those guys besides Jalen Green. That's great work right there. And now you kind of look at Houston, how you fill out that roster.
Yeah.
Brad VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, probably starting the 2 maybe, or Shepard if he's ready to go to take more of a responsibility. Robbie Smith, Kevin Durant, Tari Eason, Sengun down low. You got to probably fill out the bench a little bit better, but now you got a team that can probably kick some ass. Barring everybody stay healthy. So this Rockets team get one of the best all-time scorers in NBA history to go along with that young crew. One of the very best head coaches in basketball, and improve big men down low. That much you can ask for if you Kevin Durant. at his age. A lot of young pups to take some nights off for you. Win-win scenario for Kevin Durant. Any final thoughts for you on the Kevin Durant trade?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is, like you like you said, you alluded to, you got a lot of five of those guys are still at Houston. So your rotation is great. You're not really losing too much when it comes to that trade. Now, Jalen Green is going to be a hell of a player for a long time, but I think to give up just that pick and Dylan Brooks, who we know is just a defender for KD, that's a big grab for Houston. So that's a hell of a job. But also, I'm not going to say that KD is going to retire tomorrow. I don't think the KD we seen 10 years ago is still here. I think over time, he's not that player. So I think you need to be in a win now mode. And I think they need to do that now. I think that's the biggest thing for me. If they can kind of put it together, you got the coach that can do it. You got the players. But the West isn't so. The West, as we know, is a very tough conference regardless. The Lakers are going to be better. We know what Minnesota is coming with Ant-Man. Obviously, OKC is going to be OKC. The Denver Nuggets. So, yes, you put a good piece together, but you guys got to get things done. And my thing is, they only have a certain amount of years of KD being KD, so they have to get it done.
Mm-hmm. And I know it's a good thing to do. You can't hate on it. If being real, I mean, you can't hate that. To try for a good couple years, before he hits 40, see what happens. See what happens. If you kind of look in this division, I mean, right now they still kind of favorites, in my opinion. Dallas, we're all presuming is going to take Cooper Flag #1, but Kyrie's going to be out for the ACL between probably come back by the All-Star break. San Antonio, that's kind of we'll see how everybody kind of formulate together in full training camp, all that stuff, see what happens. The Pelicans, we'll see what Joe Dumars do in the offseason. I think something shaking and moving around is going to happen with them. And then the Grizzlies. We saw, the Desmond Bain trade and all that stuff. They're talking about a contract extension with Jaren Jackson. So we see what happens with that. But I think Houston's, they're still atop in that division. And going back to the game with minute 15 left, the Pacers are up by 3 with Siakam guarding Jalen Williams, SGA with the 3-point shot, and in and out. And McConnell bringing the ball up with a minute left in the first half, driving the lane. He dribbled all the way up back to the top. And, damn. Oh, McConnell. Oh, gotta grab that ball. Trying to tap it. But the Pacers still up by 3. A higher sign with the potential and one, the foul on Siakam. I think this game gonna be close.
Oh yes, I told you the person that's gonna determine this game is SGA. He's gonna it's gonna come down to him having a game that he usually has. If he does that, how many points is he? He is sitting at 14 points right now. So he's gonna have to have that game to put this away. I don't think the Pacers go away so easily. This is gonna be a hell of a game. Especially being tied up looks like around halftime. If it plays out that way, I think it'll like maybe a couple more possessions, but low scoring as well as expected.
And then Rick Carlisle, I got to be careful not to get technical. And oh, they call a foul mastery on that? That's kind of like one of the tic-tac fouls you can't have in this type of scenario. And SGA got fouled by Neiman Hart there. Neiman Hart and SGA is going to the line with 24 seconds left in the first half. And once again, they showing that damn Tyrese Halliburton injury.
You already know they're going to talk about that all halftime.
Yep.
I just got a feeling that the Pacers, man, I ain't going to lie, I got a feeling the Pacers are going to play better this third quarter because, Carlisle going to have that talk with them and let them know, listen, this game isn't over. It's still, really close. They just got to bounce back, man. I think, okay, yeah, one of your star players is out, but you have multiple leaders on that team. Siakam is one of them. Carlisle is one of them. McConnell was one of them. Do your job, man. This game is still close, but you got to maintain SGA for sure.
And right now, Siakam is bringing the ball up with Caruso guarding him. 10 seconds left in the first half. Neiman Hart with the ball. Got space on Holmgren. 3-point shot over Chet Holmgren. And the Pacers up by 1. And the Pacers, ladies and gentlemen, 1-point lead and going to halftime in Game 7 NBA Finals. And Josh Weir coming to the chat. I'm surprised none of these stars are forcing their way to the East. Much easier path. So he's going back to the KD trade there.
Right.
What you think about that comment? Because KD put the Miami Heat as excuse me, as one of his preferred destinations. And from the reports I've read, Miami wasn't giving up Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, which is fine.
Right.
Put that to the side. But it seemed like they weren't giving up some of the young guys as well, like Jamie Jaquez and all that. Do you think some of these guys, like Josh brought up, should kind of go east? Because think about looking at it now. Halliburton got injured. We don't know the severity of it, but he's going to be out for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum, same boat. Got hurt in the playoffs. Is going to probably be out for a while. The Cleveland Cavaliers guards and whatnot, they were hobbling and stuff like that all through, what the task going to be for them come training camp.
Right.
In your thoughts, what do you make of Josh's comment about should more of these guys go east?
I mean, I don't disagree. I think that's not a bad idea. I think that, you want to go. I think both sides are tougher, right? We know what the West has been for the longest. But I think the East is getting a hell of a lot tougher with the Magic making the big move as we see Desmond Bain go to the East. I think Milwaukee, as much as we talk about Dame not playing, I think Milwaukee is still somebody that we got to watch out for. Cleveland has had a hell of a season, so I don't see them I don't see them going anywhere. Boston, as we know, Boston is going to be Boston. I think Boston is going to be still consistently good. I think the Bulls are coming up, but a big team that I think is a sleeper that is going to have a hell of a season moving forward is the Detroit Pistons. I think right now the East is getting better, and I think when we do see these teams start to get better, the East is not really, really bad like we're used to seeing. So for me, I agree. I mean, I think some of them should make a move to the East, but I think they still run into some issues going to the East. Now, if you move to the East, you're going to pair with one of the big dogs, like a Jason Tatum, like a Giannis, like a Bam Adebayo, what the hell Philadelphia 76ers doing, that's a different conversation for a different day. We talk about that every year. But, where do these big-time players go? And that's maybe one of the reasons why they're not going to the East. Like I said, you have to be able to give up a lot. Like we see Desmond Bain go to the East and what was given up for him. So, again, we'll see what Giannis does or what happens with the Giannis situation. But, again, the East is not as deep as the West, but it's not as bad as it used to be, to where it was literally just Boston, or literally just Miami. Cleveland is playing better. The New York Knicks look like a team that's going to be a big problem moving forward. The Bulls are a young team, but I think if they grab a vet, maybe another rookie in there, they could be somebody to deal with. Detroit Pistons are coming around. Cade Cunningham is going to bring them around with Jalen Durant. So for me, yes, some of these players could go to the East, but what are they giving up to get there? If you go to Milwaukee, what are you giving up? What is Milwaukee giving up for? What do they have? So a big player to get there, you're going to have some pieces, unless you're giving up your big dog. And for Giannis to go west to replace some guys, that'd be pointless. So for me, I agree. Some players should consider going to the East, but they're probably going up there to form a team that is like a top 3 or a big 3 or a big 4. That's the only way it looks, because Boston has their team, and they're not going to drop off too bad. Now, granted, Tatum is going to be hurt, like you said. I think the Pacers, as we can see right now, without Halliburton, are still being competitive in the NBA Finals. It could be a clear path, but what are you willing to give up? And obviously, the biggest team that people look at is Miami. But when you're not willing to give up your top 2 best players, it's probably going to be pretty hard to bring in another superstar there.
And Josh made a good question. I mean, brought up a good point. Like you mentioned about some of these younger teams, like Detroit, Orlando, and so forth. Could like one of these older veterans kind of go there, go to the East and take advantage of that. That's why I was kind of disappointed in the Jimmy Butler saga with the Heat, because at least you're there and probably could take advantage of that and maybe get one last ride out of it. But things happen, whatever. But now with like we mentioned about these 2 guys and Halliburton and Tatum being out, who's gonna step up to the plate? Cleveland had a hell of a year, but I think the injuries and whatnot kind of tripped them up towards the end, in my humble opinion. Detroit's on the rise, but for me, can Cade Cunningham continue to stay healthy, stay on the court? That's going to be key for them moving forward. And then your Orlando Magic, Banchero, Ragnar, when they on the court healthy, dangerous. But kind of like Cade Cunningham early on, they get an injury, they out for a good couple weeks. So I'm just hoping, we'll see what things shake out. We'll see how things shake out Wednesday and who goes where and whatnot. Like you mentioned by Giannis, where's he going to go? Where you want to go to? If the place you want to go is going to be a good situation. So we'll see about, all that and whatnot. But D-Lock, it's halftime right now, NBA Finals. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back on the other side of things. We'll go over, like, what should each team do in the second half to win the NBA championship. But this is Fast Break here live for iSports Radio. You're the Follow Sports, and we'll catch you on the other side.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
And welcome back here to Fast Break here for IE Sports Radio. Your Refall is Sports. D-Locke, still halftime right now.
Yep.
For you, what should the Pacers do in the second half to win their first NBA championship?
You know what? I'm going to go a little different than what a lot of people probably would expect to hear. I'm going to say play defense. Be very, very strict on defense. I mean, they're going to get their points, but I think if you can contain SGA, I mean, right now, SGA is 5 for 12. He hasn't popped a 3 yet. 16 points. If you can contain him, have everybody else score. Nobody else is in double digits outside of SGA, scoring wise. So if they can maintain that, I think they have a hell of a chance to keep this championship. Your leader, okay, one of your leaders is not there. Okay, cool. But I think they have the guys that can get them this championship. Is just playing defense. I think plays a huge part. Nebhard 9 points. Halliburton had 9 before he left. Siakam 10. This cannot be a high scoring game. Yeah. This has to be. They need to continue to maintain. So for me, if they can play great defense, then I think they will be fine. But the fact that they're playing like this and Halliburton isn't playing is impressive already. That tells you a lot. And I think Rick Carlisle is the guy to manage these guys. I think they go into the halftime, they get these guys ready. I think he does just talk that talk. You know, he popped that 3 at the end with Nebhard. I think these guys pull it off, man.
I think for me, for the Pacers to win the NBA championship, I think, you got to slow it down. You got to play inside a little bit more. At times when you were cutting with Miles Turner, he was getting fouls drawn for you, and that's got to continue in the second half. Not saying get away from what you've been doing, But I think a slight switch up in early second half, kind of like throw OKC off. Like you got throw something off to kind of build a little something. And I think going inside with Miles Turner, kind of get something going inside him and Siakam, get something going there. TJ McConnell driving, Miles Turner posting up, trying to get those switches down low with Chet Holmgren going guarding him, and get some, foul calls, get some and one opportunities down low between those two guys. And then, just with the other guards, you gotta make shots. I'll go back to what Richard Jefferson said. Quit looking for the great shot, just take the good shot. All right. If you got at least a decent look, take the shot. Don't try and find an open man, whatever. Just take the decent shot if you got a good look. So I think for the Pacers to win, those things got to happen. Stay out of foul trouble. Lock up, like you said, defensively on the guys driving downhill and SGA and Jalen Williams. And don't let guys like Casey Wallace, Lou Dort beat you at the 3-point line. I know the guys can shoot, but don't let them be the deciding factor to beat you for the NBA Finals. In my humble opinion. If you can do those things, I think you can squeak out the victory. And of course, looking at the free throw stat line not too long ago, make your damn free throws. If this ain't gonna be tight and close, and right now the Pacers are shooting. Let me look again. They're shooting 61% for the free throw line. That cannot happen. Now, if you're new to the show, as a lot of y'all are right now, always got to think: if you shoot at least 7%, it's a close game. More odds going to factor your way. I look at these numbers all the time. I say, damn, if you shot at least 70%, you'd be cool. Well, that's got to happen in this game, in my humble opinion. D-Locke, before this game get back, what should OKC do to win their first NBA championship in the second half?
I think SGA has to get hot. If he catches fire, and that doesn't mean, we usually hear, as a lot of people that play NBA Jam, he's on fire. I ain't talking about the scoring. I'm talking about overall as a player. If he can catch fire, boards, assists, steals, blocks, points, I think this team turns into a totally different team. He's that leader. He's that one that can change a lot for this team. So in order for this team to get that championship, they got to continue to run through SGA. He has to take over. I think if he does take over, they win. He's the MVP. Cool. But they gotta make their shots. Dort has not been making a lot of shots over this series. But I think that if he can catch any type of fire, then that's gonna make it tough for anybody. But SGA is the ringleader. If he can catch fire, be aware, man. They might host that trophy at the end, and so will he have that trophy at the crib? And we might be talking about him as a Hall of Famer already.
I think real quick for me, for OKC, your two big stars in Jalen Williams and SGA got to take more of a role in the second half. I know I said Chet Holmgren should be kind of helping with that charge. But, he only got 5 points right now and 4 rebounds. And it just feels real minimal right now. But Jalen Williams only had 5 points. As we see in this playoff, Jalen Williams really comes around in the third quarter. So when the third quarter is about to start rolling here in a second, Jalen Williams is a person to kind of keep an eye on the third quarter, see how he gets going. Not just scoring-wise, but defense, passing, and whatnot. And he's bringing the ball right now as the third quarter gets started. If he gets rolling and whatnot, and no Isaiah Hartenstein out there right now for the OKC Thunder. So, and Caruso's out there. So, let's see, what OKC does going down the stretch.
So they changed it up a little bit then. Caruso starting the second half.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that maintains throughout the game.
I really wonder where. I wonder where. Well, yeah. I mean, now you're kind of limited on your. Well, you're probably putting Jalen Williams at the 4, right? Caruso's at the 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had to guess, yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, they're probably thinking, they're probably thinking about that rotation, that second rotation that comes in, because at this point you're gonna have Hartenstein come. I think did they do that the last game? The last game, I probably think they did the same thing.
I think so.
I think last game they did the same exact thing. But the fact that Hallie is not available, what does that do for the Pacers rotation?
Well, right now they got T.J. McConnell out on the bench right now, which I thought he would be at least starting the second half. So that's not happening.
Matherin starting. Okay.
Surprising, in my humble opinion. And Lou Dort with a wow.
Did I not just bring him up? I said he has not scored, but he needs to.
And Siakam with the answer back at the 3-point line. So Lou Dort threw up a hope and a prayer and makes it, and Siakam answers back. Damn. And the Pacers are down by 1.
This is what I like about this Pacers team. They don't give up, man. One thing they will not do, this Pacers team is not going to give up. They're doing this with now. Obviously, they had a talk with their Siakam is a champ, so he knows. But who can neutralize all that is if SGA just goes crazy. How Caruso looking like Larry Bird over there, grabbing boards and tip shots.
And puts OKC up by 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, in and out right there. My Neighborhood right there. And OKC driving. SGA trying to drive. Lou Dort open again, but misses the shot. Matherin with the rebound, and now the Pacers are pushing. Oh, and then big turnover. Right, Jalen Williams, like I mentioned. And
how many points is he there?
Like I mentioned about Jalen Williams, this third quarter, he gets rolling, and Rick Carlisle takes a quick timeout.
Getting hot. Yeah, he's waking up.
I think one thing that they got to do, the turnovers. And this is what I said in Game 5, D-Locke. Going back to our show's account, I said, why Rick Carlisle did not have T.J. McConnell in that fourth quarter? And I think you got to have T.J. McConnell out there to handle the ball to kind of stabilize things. And you can't be fucking around, excuse my language, you can't be fucking around and, trying something else. Just have your backup point guard out there who you can trust to keep things stable. Take care of the ball, get your open looks. And I know you're going to lose your 3-point shooting because of that, but okay, like I said, at halftime, focus inside a little bit more.
Correct.
But got these other guards. I mean, guys, they can handle the ball, whatnot, but they're not true point guards. You know what I'm saying? They're not true point guards. That's the thing I'm trying to. Everybody watching here, trying to get into the head. These guys ain't true point guards. Shepard, Newhart, Matherin, they're not really true point guards like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they take this time out early, maybe Rick Carlisle realizes that and And I guess Tyrese Halliburton's dad confirmed news to Lisa Salters that Halliburton has an Achilles injury. So
that sucks.
So yeah,
especially this late.
This late, we're in about close to the end of June. It's not great for the Pacers and not great for Tyrese Halliburton to go out like this. So it's prayers out to Tyrese Halliburton. Had a hell of a run, made himself more of a household name in these playoff series. If we're being honest, the hell of a run, the moments, the social media chatter, all that stuff. He made these playoffs pretty interesting, and it kind of really helped him cross over with new eyes to different people. And then, who would have thunk it, the player that we saw get drafted to Sacramento gets traded to the Pacers, and he develops to the all NBA type of player. So our prayers go out to Tyrese Halliburton. Probably out for the next season. So sucks for him and sucks for the Pacers that your star player has gone out like this. But the game's back on, and no McConnell coming out of the timeout. Mathurin with another wild 3-point shot. Neesmith with the rebound, and Neesmith draws a foul right there. On who? I'm trying to look. Let's see. I don't know. I think yeah. So you got to do more of that. Drive the lane. Pick and roll. Okay, not there with Miles Turner. They need to get McConnell out there. Like, these guards are not hitting the ball.
Ooh. Shit.
Then drop the lane, get a foul, and check Holmgren. That's who needs to kind of wake up.
Yeah, big time. He's been playing, but he hasn't been playing to that level that we know.
And the first free throw goes in.
Nebhard, he's doing See, Nebhard he's doing his part. That's a good boy.
Well, Neesmith is going out. I'll put Mathurin out.
It just depends on how they got it set up because, I don't know. I mean, it looked like they're getting the minutes out of Miles Turner this half though, because he didn't play that much the first half. They definitely gonna need him this half.
And missed shot right there by Jalen Williams. Pacers bringing the ball up. Caruso, the excellent defense up top. And somebody's open. And Miles Turner with the three. And shot goes in. We're back up 56-all with 8:30 left in the third quarter. Big time shot by Miles Turner right there. And she has the ball with the fake over Siakam. And 3-point shot answered back on Siakam and put the Thunder back up by 3, 59-56. With 8:09 left in the third quarter.
That's what you need. That's what OKC fans, that's what you need. You need SGA to be SGA.
And Luke Dort with the excellent defense on McConnell right now. And the turnover with Miles Turner on defense. And how the hell do you mess up a 3-on-1 break with Chet Holmgren as the trailer right there? But great job by Miles Turner to slow down the fast break there against Lou Dort, who should have passed it back sooner to either Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren, but yeah, he was trying to, but he did it too late.
Mm-hmm.
Just bad basketball right there. Chet Holmgren with 3-point shot in there. There you go. Thunder up by 6 now. 7:35 left in the third quarter. Chet Holmgren with a 3-pointer right there. McConnell driving the lane. Why didn't he just go for the layup? The driving kick stuff.
Ludort
Smart
having a game.
SGA with the moves, kicking out to Jalen Williams. 3-pointer in it. Oh, went in.
Yeah, that's game.
Three-pointer.
Well, I ain't gonna say that's game for sure, but they starting to catch fire now.
3-pointers so right now off the clip for the Thunder right now with SGA, Holmgren, and now Jalen Williams made 3-pointers in a row. The Thunder, they up by 9. Like I said, by Jalen Williams, he the one that gets cooking. And once he gets cooking in third quarter, okay, it goes in favor in OKC's the odds going to OKC favor to win the game. With the timeout right now, your thoughts? What should the Pacers do after the timeout? That OKC's up by 9. They kind of got a little hot streak going. What should they do to kind of slow them down?
I mean, you definitely got to slow down SGA because I think he's starting to get everybody. Remember, I said he's starting to get everybody cooking. Remember, I said about SGA not necessarily scoring a lot of points, but the past couple of scores, he's got an assist to Jalen Williams, assist to Chet Holmgren. He's starting to get hot, and once that starts to happen, you have to pay attention to where he's going with the ball.
Yeah,
so he's starting to show that. He's starting to show why he's the MVP of the league. And granted, we know, like I said, the piece that they have, but he's starting to show that. So Jalen Williams is starting to catch fire as well. So they're showing the depth and why they are considered as the better team. They're showing it now. But for the Pacers, you're going to have to match point for point now. I mean, you're down by 9, but you're going to have to make this maybe it's a 4-point game before this fourth quarter comes around, maybe a 3-point game. But that also means not only scoring points, but playing defense.
I think just kind of, if you were call out, tell the guys to calm down. You know, basketball is a game of runs. They're on a 9-0 run right now. You know, for us, I think you got to play smart, take care of the ball. You know, if you have the rim, take the layup. Don't try to kick it out. Don't try to suck the defense in. I know I've been telling y'all that, but if you're kind of there at the layup for a layup, easy layup, take the layup. Take the best shot. So I think you're calling them, just tell them, like, don't force unnecessary errors to put them more in a hole right now. And I think we could, if they can do that, tell them that, you know, I think things will be looking good on the other side for the Pacers. If you're OKC, I'm trying to pull up the coach's name. Mark Dagenlaw. What are you telling your guys after that 9-0 run?
The bigger thing I'm telling them is to stay aggressive. I mean, right now they're pushing the pressure on the Pacers. I mean, I think, you know, the more they make this lead even wider, the SGA need to continue to be who he is. But bring the pressure, man. I mean, I think right now this team is not, you know, they're losing their key player. But SGA, this is time for him to take over as the MVP. Continue to play that tight defense. But bring the pressure, man. I think right now with SGA playing like that, they can widen. This is a 7-point game right now, man. This could be easily a 14, 15-point game in the span of a few series. So it depends on what they do. But I think if they do that, they have a hell of the OKC have a hell of a chance to be champs.
And then come out of the timeout for the Pacers, like I just said, like TJ McConnell drove the lane, make a layup, but SGA comes back and answers right back with a layup of his own. So still up by 9 for the Thunder. And McConnell's trying to drive on Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren got good defense down low. And another steal on the wing by the Thunder, by Lou Dort on Obi Toppin. Now you got the Thunder ball top. SGA got the ball top. Driving. Not driving. Jalen Williams the ball. Driving against Neesmith. Layup. Missed shot. Well, Miles Turner on the rebound. McConnell got the ball. Pass it off. And McConnell driving once again. There we go. What I have to say. Drive the lane. Make the layup. Don't make things complicated. But the Thunder is still up by 7 right now. SGA driving, pump fake, 3-point shot, rebound by Obi Toppin. Neimanhart bringing the ball up. Pass off to Thompson, back up to Neimanhart, back up top. The screen right there. McConnell driving again. McConnell driving. Never shot. Lead down to 5.
This is the thing about that team. You lose a leader, but also you still have another one in your back pocket. And this is the reason why it's as close as it is. Ooh.
And pick a roll with Chet Holmgren making the flush right now. So 5 points for him in this quarter for the Thunder. McConnell driving the blade again. And another shot for McConnell. He's starting to get cooking right now. And this same thing we saw in Game 5. If he gets cooking like this, you got to ride the right hand. Oh, and foul call on the Pacers. And let's see. I can get this tweet out real quick. But McConnell's cooking right now. So that foul wasn't McConnell. So, okay. So 12 points for McConnell this far. And I think for Pacers, especially I saw with Rick Carlisle earlier, they got to watch out for getting attacked. I know it's Game 7. I know a lot's on the line. But don't get no unnecessary attacks. And now you got Tony Bradley back in the game.
My gosh.
Like, man, I ain't trying to diss the dude, but damn. I know you're trying to get Miles Turner a blow, but shit, man, this is Game 7, man. And missed shot by Neimanhart right there. Lou Dort driving. Lou Dort, the 3-point shot with the miss. Caruso trying to do a wild tip, and he misses badly.
That boy McConnell ain't no joke, boy.
Not. There we go. And see, if you're a Pacers fan watching this, that Game 5, you got to look back at it like, damn, and Lou Dort with the 3-point shot misses out. If you're a Pacers fan watching this and you go back to the Game 5 and McConnell was cooking and Halliburton was hurt, you kind of thinking like, damn, if he would have played the rest of the game, we could have did something. And McConnell driving to Tony Bradley for some odd reason. And Rick Carlisle, you got to get him out the game, man. You don't got Siakam out there. Between Siakam and Turner, if one's out, one's got to be in the game. Damn rest. Damn rest. You got no Olympics, and none of these guys got committed to. Damn rest right now.
Yeah. Mm.
And 3-point shot for Wallace right there. That OKC badly needed right there because the Pacers were on the road.
There's a timeout. They about to call timeout.
Yeah. 5-point swing for the Pacers, right? I mean, for the Thunder right there. And Obi Toppin, what you doing? And he got bailed out with the foul call right there. Recall he got to play starters through, man. You gotta play your starters through.
See what he gonna do. He done gave Miles Turner his little break. He got Thomas Bryant.
Oh, sweet Jesus. We bringing Thomas Bryant in.
Miles Turner need a break. And then he got a shot too. He'll get out of here.
I mean, at least Thomas Bryant can shoot the 3-point, but damn. Hey, come in. Hey, Thomas Bryant, come in, Jack in 3.
That man trying to hit somebody parlay, boy.
Damn. Game 7, and Rick Carlisle still trying to stick to his rotation.
Let's see if it plays out. I don't know. That's why I said some of these athletes, they need rest. So let's see what his plan is. They're down by 9, yes, but it's still not that far off. Let's see what he does with it. Because I ain't seen Kyrie Williams in the game like that. I think maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, that's it right there.
Now the Thunder up by 11, and if you're the Pacers, they're taking a timeout right now. You got Thomas Bryant out there trying to be defender, in which he can't defend. I know Rick Carlisle trying to find something down low, but I think he's looking at the wrong places right now. You got to tell the outcome about term. Hey man, y'all paying the rest of the way through. I'm sorry. Like, you gotta play him. You gotta tell him to play the rest through. With another timeout here.
Yeah.
If you're OKC, you're up by 11. How do you manage the emotions go to the end of the third quarter and into the fourth, being by double digits? How you manage that?
I mean, you got to continue scoring. I mean, at this point, remember I said I thought it was going to be a defensive game. At this point, you got to keep scoring to make it without a question. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, right now it's a tight game. The Pacers are back. You know, they just dropped. They made it a 9-point game. It's going to be very interesting for this next 5, 13, 14 minutes of play. They got to do something. But OKC need to continue scoring.
Yeah, I think so as well. Damn. I think so as well. And then OKC makes another shot. And now, well, they're up 9, but now by 11. So McConnell driving should get the foul on Jalen Williams. And then you got Isaiah Hartenside back in the game for OKC. Like Miles Turner and Siakam back in the game. Like I said, they got paid right straight through. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
And they seem to be chatting about something. I don't know about what. Oh, probably that wet spot. And TJ McConnell's ball out to Shepard with a 3-point shot, which he bricked on the corner there in the rim. Williams bringing the ball up, and which between Siakam and Turner trying to decide who's going to guard him. And rebound by Mathurin, who's been very quiet in his third quarter. He's got to wake up. McConnell driving the basket, and damn, he missed the layup. But good defense by Hartenstein right there to change the alteration of the shot. And timeout by OKC. So, as we see with Carlisle, he put this big man back in the game. Probably had to tell him that, hey, man, y'all got to play for the rest of the game. You know, I appreciate Tony Bradley and Thomas Bryant for the contributions, but I need my workhorses to put me through. And then guard wise, if I was him, I'll probably take out Mathurin out. And I gotta get something else going. I gotta get something else going right there at the wing spot for the guards for the Pacers. But we got a little break right now. If you're new here to iSports Sports Radio and Fast Break, check out the ticker down below. Do follow iSports Sports Radio on all your social media feeds, with X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, which we're on X and TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, but X, YouTube, Twitch right now. Check out iSportsRadio.com for all your latest shows, news, and feeds as well. A lot of stuff going on in the network, a lot of changes to the network, but we're still going strong and bringing the great sports talk to all y'all out there. So do check out iSports Radio on your social media feeds and check out iSportsRadio.com. And also check out the gift shop as well. About 500 y'all in here. Check out iSportsRadio.com and hit up that gift shop as well. All right, back to the game. And Isaiah Hartenstein with the tip in that pushed the OKC lead out to 13, or I think 13 at the moment. Pacers seem like they're holding for the final shot with 5 seconds left between the shot and play clock. Siakam with the ball on the wing with Caruso guarding him tightly. Siakam with the shot going up. And no foul call for Siakam there. SGA half court heave to end the third quarter. And the Thunder are up 81-68 going to the fourth. So, D-Locke, before we take a last break here, what should the Pacers do in the fourth?
You gotta get the shots to go in, man. I mean, McConnell is hot, so I would lean on him. Mathurin was quiet that third quarter, so you probably need him to catch fire in this fourth quarter. But I think right now it's a 13-point game. They still have a good chance to come in, but they got to continue playing defense. Slow down SGA. Like I said, he's starting to, not even scoring part, but he's getting steals, rebounds, different things. At this point, you want to make sure that SGA is not taking over this game. But slowly but surely, that's what he, like I said, last time I said he had 14 points, and I last talked about him, he has 22. So he's starting to get there. He has a double-double. If they win, he's going to be obviously the MVP right now. Made 1 3-pointer, but 22 points, 10 assists and 5 boards. He's starting to cook. So, in my opinion, they got to slow him down.
I think for me, real quick, I think draw the lane, slow the game down, like you said, and then I don't know what he does at the wing spot, what Carlisle does. If Mathurin can't get going, keep on the bench.
Right.
Robert E. Smith, you put Neiman Hart out there and roll McConnell at the point, and Siakam turn it and go and try to win the NBA championship that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, they got a chance. And of course, make your free throws. But you gotta slow down. OKC, slow down SGA, slow down Jalen Williams.
Correct.
And box out too. That's another thing. Box out. But before fourth quarter start, D-Locke, take our last break. On the other side of things, we'll talk about Game 7 and we'll see what happens there. If we get to it, we may have to push the Lakers' sale to next week.
Yeah.
How tight this game is, and maybe talk about the NBA draft and the results next week as well. I'm trying to maybe squeeze a preview in, but it'd be kind of hard with this Game 7 being so close. So we'll take our last break and catch you on the other side real quick. But this is Fast Break here for iSports Radio. We really follow sports, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at @sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back. The fourth quarter has started. So we're kind of in the home stretch in this game. Thank you for tuning in with us here at Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio. You're doing for sports. You see the ticker going along below. Do for IE Sports Radio on all your social media feeds: X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch as well. A lot of guys and gals do a great job in the network, on the screen, behind the scenes as well. So do give everybody a follow. We do shows for football. Our football series will be up and rolling here. I think next month when training camp rolls around. NASCAR, F1 series, all that. We got you covered there as well. Volleyball, we got you covered as well. Football, international football, soccer, we got you covered there as well. And also our shows in between that talk about the subjects of baseball, everything else in between throughout the week. So do check out iSportsRadio.com for all of those news and show times as well. D-Locke, we're going to the fourth quarter. OKC is rocking and rolling. I know you said the pace is about 5 today. How are you feeling right now about it?
I think that it ain't gonna be 5 because they're going to. Well, I would change that to about maybe 2 or 3. They're gonna have to catch fire big time soon. They're just too far behind to win by 5. I think this game is probably going to be a 2-point game for if the Pacers want to win. But right now, as I said, SGA is starting to wake up. He's starting to do everything. So if the Pacers want to win, they're going to have to slow down on SGA. But he's definitely taking over.
Yeah, I think that the takeover is happening. With Halliburton in the locker room out for the rest of the game, and the Thunder closing in to almost being up 20 points right now on the Pacers. You know, we'll see how things go. The Pacers team don't have no quit in them. We seen that in the playoffs. You know, go ask the New York Knicks. But Siakam driving, the defense is starting to tie it up. Mathurin got the ball on the wing. Siakam with the three-pointer, he misses. Mathurin with the rebound and called loose ball foul on Neesmith on the hole right there on Dort. Seems like things ain't going with the Pacers' way right now. Yeah, loose ball foul, yeah, on Crooks, yeah. He jumped over back to Caruso. SGA with the ball up top. McConnell picking him up on the switch. SGA with the post down. Back McConnell down. Turn around. Shot misses. Mathurin with the ball. He's got to get going. Are you surprised Miles Turner is not out there right now? I think Mike's on mute.
Oh yeah, like I said, I think that I was not expect. I'm fine with it because I know they're trying to bounce back. But at the same time, it's just like if you put Turner out there right now, what is it going to give you later? So they're trying to drop that lead, that 60-point lead down, and then possibly bring Turner in. But they got to make some shots, man. I mean, right now, 16-point lead. You're probably under 10 minutes. Like it's starting to get around that time. You're not going to see Tony Bradley. Definitely should not be out there. So we about to look at SGA with Locke. They're starting to, SGA is starting to take over. That's just what it is.
And a block right there on Neesmith for the 3-point shot. The Pacers, they can't get nothing going. SGA bring the ball up. If you're OKC, you got to slow the ball down a little bit. SGA with Neesmith on him, trying to drive the lane. Got the ball down onto Wallace with the shot. And the Thunder are up 18 points right now on the Indiana Pacers, who are without Tyrese Haliburton, who was out with a Achilles injury. Like nothing going the Pacers' way. Neesmith made a shot.
Yeah, I think this game is over. This game is definitely over. Looking at it, it's over.
Jed wins with the 3-point shot. Oh.
Yeah.
I think that may be dagger. 20 up 21, 27 left.
Yeah. Yep. Well deserved.
Well deserved. Let me ask you this question. If the Thunder hang on to to win the NBA championship, what is Sam Presti's legacy in your eyes? If you think about this, okay, got the job. Let me make sure I got my right year right.
07, I think, 08, something like that.
Yeah, about 07 with the Seattle Supersonics at that time. Of course, the team moved to OKC. He took over this OKC team at a young age. He's 47 now. And he had drafted 3 future Hall of Famers.
And traded
Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. And of course, during that run, they made the NBA Finals once, but never got back with that core. And then, of course, the James Harden trade and all that stuff. And then, you almost made it to the finals again. And you're up 3-1 with Billy Donovan as a coach, and you kind of choked. And then after Durant left, you kept Westbrook there, in the fold. And then eventually you moved off him. And then after a while, you tried things with Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, that didn't work. Your eyes, with this current incarnation with the Thunder, what do you think his legacy would be if they hang on to this victory?
I think the biggest thing is the loyalty and dedication that he put in him, and they did to put into him. I mean, like you said, he got hired in 2007?
Yeah.
He was 30. So he was younger than both of us. So they took a chance on him. And they're going into the 10 years is coming up soon. I'm sorry, not 10 years, 20 years is actually coming up soon. He's done a hell of a job with that part of. I don't think it's just him, but I think it's more so of the team, the foundation, them organization. investing to him. And he put the team together. Now, he was gifted with SGA. I think that was just a gift that the Clippers probably regret. But they've never won a championship, and he's about to get it now. Looks like looking at it right now, there's a very good chance. So for me, he's definitely gonna get kudos for it. You got a guy in the SGA who's gonna probably be there for years and years and years to come. Who's gonna continue to change that organization. But he stayed there and put the work in for these guys and for this team. And for them to win a championship, we've seen KD, like you said, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. These guys were MVPs in the league. Now you get another one in the SGA, and it's just like, well, damn. If you look at it, this is the stuff that the Los Angeles Lakers do. They get a player, they build, they win, they be the MVP, and then they lose that player by retirement, and they replace him. He's doing something very similar. He had KD, he had Russ, he had James Harden. He had these guys that were top of their. They were top guys in the league. And now, not only you lose those, you get another guy, he's the MVP. And with the draft capital that they have, they can only get better.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think his legacy continues. This will be a huge win for OKC, man. A very huge win. Everything that we've seen OKC, Russ do, Kevin Durant do, James Harden do, that kind of gets shadowed by what we're seeing right now. It's just facts. SGA is that guy. And they win this championship, which is, it looks like, because they're up 68-90. Yeah. Well, probably about to be 91 if Chet can make this next free throw. I think that he's going to get a lot of respect for it. He actually misses it, but he's going to get a lot of respect for it. And also, that means SGA is going to be considered probably one of the greatest players he's probably going to be considered better than Kevin Durant, because that one of the better players that played at OKC, because, hell, I mean, as much as Kevin Durant did, he didn't win a championship. SGA is on his way to do it now. MVP and all. So, yeah, this is going to be very huge, man. I mean, to see a 90-70 lead, Presti gets a lot of respect for it.
Yeah, right now, the Thunder up 90-70 with the Pacers still trying to fight. They got the steal by Mathurin, got a foul call. So they're still showing the fight, But I think, like I go back to the third quarter, once those guys get rolling, like Jalen Williams got rolling, SGA get rolling, they got rolling, and and Indiana don't got the dude per se to kind of get them back in the game. They got very nice complimentary guys of role players and great role players that you want on your team, but they don't got like a dude that can take over like that to give you like 8 straight minutes. 8 points back to back like that. They don't got that. Halliburton was that dude, and of course he's out for the rest of the game. So, Siakam's at the line, and another damn missed free throw. And Mathurin with the rebound. Siakam with the 3-pointer, and he misses that. It's like none of the shots can go in for the Pacers. And Jalen Williams seems to be hurt right now. And Chet Holmgren with a nice block. Let me ask you this. How do you view Jalen Williams and his growth as a player? A guy that come out like a mid-major program like Santa Clara, but then you see like a quick ascension in him and his play. Does his game got more growth in your eyes going down the line? Because if he continues to grow, you got a scary 1-2 punch for years to come between him and SGA. What are your thoughts about?
Yeah, I think that he has a hell of a player that he can grow with, and it is SGA. I think SGA is a person that he can continue to grow with. So he has a lot to grow with, but he has the perfect person to grow with him. You see what I'm saying? Like he got the person that he can continue to move with, but he's gonna grow as a player. But the person a perfect person for him to grow with is SGA, the MVP. So OKC is in the great hands. Sam Presti, like I said, he definitely is going to be thought about as doing a hell of a job over there.
Yeah, I think he struck gold with that draft. Williams, and of course, he got to trade for SGA, which kind of looking at now. And I always said this about Steve Ballmer. I think for him to kind of to stay competitive, kind of good and bad for the Clippers in a sense, and never steal by the Pacers, and never foul drawn. So the Pacers ain't giving up yet. They tighten up the defense, put more pressure on OKC.
It's 5 minutes, man. Yeah.
I know, yeah, it's 5 minutes, but yeah, we saw what they did against the damn Knicks.
We indeed did. They're gonna shoot the foul.
I ain't expect that to happen.
Nope.
Guarding like that. Let me ask you this. If the Pacers, win or lose, the Pacers loses. They win or lose this game. They've been to the Eastern Conference 2 years in a row, plus a finals trip.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the core is going to be intact for next year. Do you think they can get back to at least the Eastern Conference Finals again?
I think with Halliburton being out, I definitely don't think so. I think that Halliburton was a huge piece throughout the season. You know what I mean? I think, obviously I wanted to bounce back in this game, but this is one game. If you lose Halliburton for 40 plus, 50 plus games, you're looking at a totally different issue. And that's my biggest thing with this team is I think they're good. I think Siakam can lead them. But, without your star player for a long time, you're looking at the Knicks probably making that big push. And Boston being ready to go. And also the Magic, my team, doing the things that they need to. So for me, I think that it's going to be as such. I don't think it's going to be as easy. I think they're going to continue to be good, but I don't know how that's going to play out for them. Losing a star player like that is going to definitely impact them.
Yeah, I think it'd be more the same. I think they'll be a good regular season team. Do they trying to find somebody Because like that,
Yeah,
McCollum's 33 years old.
Ooh, that's up there, boy.
You know, as good as he's played, he's 33 years old. So I think there's another thing you got to consider. The Pacers, you know, maybe. Let me look at the draft and see.
They go grab some pieces, but do I see them being that team that's ready to go? I think my Magic doing what they're doing, they're definitely going to be better. The Knicks are going to be the Knicks. The Cavs are going to be the Cavs. Boston's, I think, be better. We don't know what the hell we're getting out of Philly. I told you I think Boston is going to be a lot. I'm not Boston. Detroit is going to be better. So do I see them getting back? They should, but it's going to be very tough because at the same time, like you just.
And I don't know if we lost D-Lock there or not. Let's see. Hang on just a second. Let me bring it back. So we'll see. Hold on, going on D-Lock. But, you know, let's look at the draft order right now for the Pacers. If they, you know, win or lose, like I said, they got to look at, you know, options down the road. You know, they got the 54th pick in the second round. Now, if a lot of younger guys go in the first round of the NBA draft, I think they have connection issues. So if a lot of guys, you know, a lot of the older college players fall in the second round, like I think a lot of us assume was going to happen, that's when you pick up, you know, maybe like a Caleb Love, Mark Sears, Hunter Silas in the second round to kind of help fill that void, maybe glue somebody behind Halliburton when we get back fully healthy and whatnot. Now, let's see, going to the fourth quarter right now, Thunder up 91-76. The Pacers, they making a slow comeback. They making fouls, getting pressure, whatnot. Bennett and Matthew at the line right now. Makes a free throw, so down by 13 right now. The Pacers on a nice run right now, past 2 minutes. And they can't let off the pressure. Can't let off the pressure. Keep the pressure up. Jalen Williams driving the ball. Jalen Williams stuck. Jalen with the turnaround. And offensive rebound by Luke Dort, on which the Pacers needed that defensive rebound right there. Jalen Williams the shot. Missed right there. Rebound by Mathurin. And the Pacers bring the ball back up the court. Mathurin with the ball. With Caruso guarding him. Nima Hart with the ball up top. Isaiah Hart guarding him. Mathurin driving the lane. Mathurin with the shot right there. Now you cut the lead down a little bit more. Now you got timeout. And like I brought up, Mathurin's got to show up. Now he's showing up. Now he's been that 6 overall pick out of Arizona that can score the ball and has shown that. And like we talked about, I guess we kind of got a little ahead of ourselves, but the Pacers don't have no quit. So, let's see. Hopefully, D-Lock comes back on. But if you're new here, do follow iSports Radio on all your social media feeds: X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Do check out iSportsRadio.com for all your latest shows, news, and feeds. And also hit up that gift shop. A whole bunch of all y'all here. We're about 600 deep in here. Do check out iSportsRadio.com for all your social media news and feeds and stuff like that. Our football series will be starting off here next month, which means, training camp previews for all 30 NFL teams. college football going to be rolling here next month with media days and all that. Once that get rolling, we're kind of getting more into football season. Football, soccer, where you want to dub it. Do have a show for that. If you're into volleyball, we got that show for you as well. So do check out iSportsRadio.com for all your social media feeds there. And after the timeout, the Pacers, they're on the attack right now. Trying to get some pressure. They've been putting pressure on them since the fourth quarter. SGA driving and foul call right there on Nembhard on the jump shot on SGA, which I think the Thunder desperately needed to stop this run. So, do the Pacers guy never come back in though? Minus Tyrese Halliburton. That's a big question right here. SGA at the line. SGA makes both shots. That pushes the Thunder lead back out. McConnell driving against Holmgren. And Holmgren with another nice block. And out of bounds, ball to OKC. So, if you're McConnell right there, you should have pump faked it and maybe kicked it out, but against Holmgren, but we'll see how things go. Jalen Williams driving the ball. Jalen Williams driving all the way down. Good defense by the Pacers there. And the Pacers on the run. 2-on-1 break. If they can take advantage of it, Mathurin all the way down. And it's the foul call right there. Should have made the layup. And like I said, the Pacers. I think one thing that is going in Pacers' favor in the past few minutes, they slowed the game down. They dropped in lane, like I said they should have done. And now you're kind of closing the gap. And all the pressure right now is on OKC to finish this game. All the pressure is on them. And then it seems like OKC is challenging it. But the pressure is on OKC. We knew coming to the series, I think OKC is a more talented team. But I think the pressure is on them to kind of finish close out. Now, do I think OKC can win this challenge? We'll see. Looking at it, it seemed like Mathurin just kind of whiffed on the layup. There's some contact there, but it seemed like if they're gonna reverse it, it seemed like Mathurin was kind of like leaning into him. Let's see. So the call is upheld. So the foul call is on SGA. Matthew's going back to the line. So another chance for the Thunder the Pacers to kind of cut into the lead. Mathurin at the line. Makes 1 and 2. Cuts the lead down to 13. Now you kind of looking at those missed free throws for the Pacers earlier. Now those free throws kind of come back and haunt them. But they're down by 13. They making a late push. Okay, 2 for 2 for Ben Mathurin. Just don't make a foul on the inbound. And timeout OKC there by Alex Caruso. So they're showing Reggie Miller. He's sitting down. Wondering if they can make a comeback. And good defense on the inbound by the Pacers. Great job by them. And if you're a Pacers fan, you kind of have to wonder if maybe you should have done that earlier when OKC got on that run. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should have got a little pressure on them, maybe kind of tighten things up. Yeah, I know at the time you were only down by 9 at that point, but you didn't want OKC to stretch out this lead like it has now. And now you really starting all this energy now, trying to come back and win the NBA championship. And let's see. There. So 4 minutes left in the game. OKC got the ball. SGA dribbling back out to the top. McConnell's guarding. A lot of hand checking. SGA with 3. Missed shot. Okay. And the Pacers are driving and almost creating a turnover there. You got to score right here with the Pacers. Got to score. And not create a turnover. And they look like they think they last time out or got the tie up. And Mathurin, so like he's hurt and got a little blood on him, so he may have to exit the game on this. I think this tip is very crucial, how things going to go. And it goes OKC's way. SGA got the ball, Neesmith and guarding him. Switch up to McConnell. Great defense by McConnell. SGA got by him. Turn around. Ooh, missed shot. Falls in TJ McConnell's hands. And if you play basketball, you will hear the word wolf. And Lou Dort just took the ball back from TJ McConnell. Lou Dort with the ball on the wing, driving lane. Caruso got the ball on top of the wing. Williams at the wing. 3-pointer miss. Holmgren with the rebound and the foul call. Yeah, if you're the Pacers, you kind of need a couple things go your way the last 3 minutes there. Last few sequences there. I think that Lou Dort seal kind of really sealed the deal right there. Pacers only down by 12. Holmgren at the line misses their first free throw. It's like when he shoots down, like get a little arc on it. I know he's 7'1", but kind of get more lift on it when he shoots a free throw. 2 for 5 from the free throw line. And a guy who can shoot the ball, that should be a lot better. Second shot going up, went in. Now the Thunder up 13 with 2:40 left in left in the game. Siakam driving. Siakam passed the ball out. Damn, should have been foul call. And big time shot by Neiman Hart right there. Foul him. And dunked by Chet Holmgren, in which I think if you and returned by Ben Mathurin. So you're down by 10. So the Pacers down by 10 with 2:09 left. I don't know what Caruso's doing holding the ball like that. SGA with the ball, got the ball at half court. And he kind of run there, and if he come back a little too late, and the full court pressure should have came early in the game. And now you got a foul call on Nesmith there. And I think Nesmith has fouled out. But shout out to Nesmith. He's played great this playoff series. I know he's mad. I don't blame him. But he's played great this playoffs. The game against New York, great comeback there. It sucks to go out fouling the NBA Finals. 30 minutes, 3 points for him, but he played a hell of a series in playoffs for him, and a lot more people know who Nesmith is. Aaron Nesmith is. SGA in the line makes the first basket. Two for two for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the line, and a lead back up to 12. With a minute 45 left for the Pacers. What else they got left in the Magic hat? And a dumb foul by Caruso there. And he can complain all he wants to the refs, but that's just a dumb foul by Caruso. So I'm gonna play like this. I think D-Lock's having connection issues, so I'm gonna play like this. Depending on the rest of the app, under a minute, I may close up shop in the live stream, and Neiman Hart missed the free throw there, in which you cannot miss the free throws like that in a situation like this. One for two for Nesmith at the line. Put the lead at 11. We'll see what the Pacers can do. Can they create some turnovers? Get some double trees, get some traps. Now for your OKC Thunder, now you got the ball in your best two players' hands. And a foul up top on Ben Mathurin. For Jalen Williams going to the line. And this may be it. This may be it. If they make the free throws here, I think this may be it for the Pacers. Free throw good by Jalen Williams. And then showing Sam Presti, like we just talked about earlier in the stream. His legacy, his first NBA championship as like team president of this team, the moves that he has made over the years, the draft picks, the trades, the all-stars, all NBA players that have come through this franchise. Now he's about a minute 25 away to getting his first NBA championship in OKC. Should have been a foul on Lou Dort there on the at top of the key. The Pacers, it seems like the sand's going down. The OKC fans are starting to feel it. Jalen Williams going to the line. First bucket is good. I think that's one thing. Go back and show into the stats in the third quarter. Those 7 turnovers and OKC going 5 for 13 for 3-point line kind of really swung the momentum for this game. And missed the second shot of the free throw. And then a wild 3-pointer by Ben Matthews there. That's just a wild 3-pointer. And foul at the 3-point line. No. I think, Thompson stepped out of bounds there. So 45 seconds left. I think Rick Carlisle's telling these guys not to foul. I think this is going to be it here. And I think they called a foul there. Yeah, I think the fat lady's singing right now. So 2 seconds left. I think the OKC Thunder got this in the bag. Shout out to the Pacers. They had a hell of a run. And the OKC Thunder will win their first NBA championship in 2012. If you include the Sonics, you can throw it in there. But as an OKC Thunder franchise, their first NBA championship ever. And, we saw 2 seasons build up to this. A great season last year, got bounced by Dallas. Down the next year, this season, he did it again. Top of the West, and now you win the NBA championship. So congrats to the OKC Thunder to win the NBA championship. Great job out them, and congratulations to them as well. Like I said, no slaps to the Pacers. They did a great job this year as well. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us. I know D-Locke, I think the connections happened, but we had a great stream here tonight. We're very long, had a great stream. Thank y'all for tuning in with us on this Game 7 NBA Finals. The first time we ever done this in the NBA Finals, and we went long. We talked about the Kevin Durant trade. So you catch this on the playback. We did talk about the Kevin Durant trade. That means, talk about Game 7, the ins and outs of it, the Tyrese Halliburton injury as well, and all that good stuff. Next week's show, we'll talk about the NBA draft, the fallout from the NBA Finals, and also talk about the Lakers sale that happened earlier this week. So do check out. So be ready for that next week. That's what we're running out for next week. So NBA draft recap, the Lakers sale, and fallout from the NBA Finals, and where else trade news happened from here on in, and get ready for the NBA season. But like I said, check out IE Sports Radio for all your social media feeds right there. Ticker right there. I've been promoting all stream. Do check out Fast Break here at X on Fast Break ISR. You follow D-Locke on Twitter /X at Black-813. Follow myself on Twitter /X at Spawn4288. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to y'all next week with the Thunder winning their first NBA championship. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.